Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is 3-Chord Dave and we're going to talk about Gibson selling beaten up guitars. Yes guys, we're going to talk about the Gibson Murphy Lab, which is a new division of the custom shop from Gibson where, as you know, Gibson make their most expensive guitars. So yay Gibson and their bank balance. Woo. All right, but getting serious. So if you haven't heard of Tom Murphy, he's a guy who works on guitars in the custom shop for Gibson. He's a master luthier and so on. But what he specializes in is creating a vibe and feel of vintage guitars for these reissues that they do. So basically relicing and making these guitars look and feel old is his goal. He's been doing that for about 25 years and he's been at the forefront of developing new techniques to do so. Gibson believe, and Tom Murphy believes, that they have created the most authentic way to get those finish checking signs, the relicing signs on a guitar. So you can feel when you open a case like you're opening the case of an old guitar. You know, and that's fine. Some people love that. Like I did a video a few months ago about relic'd Fenders, which I'll link up here in the box thing that pops out. And at the time I was saying, hey, I don't get it. I don't get why anyone would want to buy a guitar that looks old. And when I made that video, I was saying that I didn't really understand the whole idea of relic'd guitar. Why would you not want a new looking guitar? And in the comments, everybody was telling me, you know, the great thing is you don't have to worry about this guitar getting dings and scratches. They feel great. They feel already broken in. They feel like a good guitar that's, you know, somebody has loved already. So that really changed my opinion of relic'd guitars, and I'm looking at these Murphy Lab guitars with a whole new perspective now. And what I like about it is that they are saying that each guitar will be unique because of the process that they're using. And one of my arguments against the Fender Road Worn Vintera series, I think it was that every one of them was uniformly made. So they all had the same scratches, the same checking marks, the same dents, in exactly the same location on the body. It was just like, it was like they just painted it with a slight aging paint. Not that such a thing exists, but you know, it just, what's the point in buying something to think it looks unique, but it doesn't look unique at all? So what Murphy Lab is doing, so Tom Murphy has spent his last 25 years dedicated to finding better ways of doing things. And of course, the old method of getting, say, finish checking lacquer checking is to use a razor blade and kind of basically carve in the cuts on the lacquer once it's dried and everything. But what they're doing now, and from what I can tell is probably the best way of them doing it and the most authentic way, is they're using climate change in a localized sense, where they are, you know, having the guitars in a warm environment and then very quickly cooling them down so to like sub-zero temperatures, which cracks the lacquer and makes it feel and makes every single one completely different. So, you know, there's no design to this. It's just that's how they do it. And they haven't come out and said that, but that's, from what I can pick up, that's what they're doing. And there is 4 different ways or standards that they're using. So there's ultra light, light, heavy, and ultra heavy. So here's how they're describing them. So basically ultra light is a case queen. So a guitar that has spent most of the last 50 years in a case and has been like a prized possession taken out just to play a little bit every now and then, but not getting any serious usage. So you'll see lacquer checking, which is natural, and a little bit of, you know, just standard usage. Like if you're a very careful owner of a guitar, imagine that usage over 50 years. So the neck might feel a little bit worn in, but not fully. And you'll see the big thing will be the checking. And then you've got the VOS kind of hardware as well. So a little bit of patina and stuff like that on there. Then you go up to ultralight, and this is a little bit more of a regularly used instrument. So again, you're not talking a very heavy wear and tear, but you will see checking. You'll see very, very light, maybe scratches and dings. That's where they start to come in, but again, very, very light. Then we move up to heavy. Now, heavy is what you would expect. You're going to have buckle rash. You're going to have some visible scratches and dents. You're going to have things like arm wear up in the corner. You're going to have things like pick wear, where it's going to be scratching against, like, obviously the plastics and stuff like that as well. And of course, you also get the patina on the VOS hardware. And then that brings us up to the ultra heavy. And what they're suggesting the ultra heavy level is your hero has played this guitar for decades on the road. So if you can imagine picking up Slash's guitar And he plays 3-hour shows every night, like 200 nights a year, and he's bashing it around the stage, and it's got buckle rash and scratches and dents and maybe a crack or two in it. I mean, they're not going to sell a guitar with a crack in it, but you know what I mean? It's going to have, although it's Gibson, maybe. Anyway, it's going to have wear and tear. There's going to be parts worn off. There's going to be an awful lot of buckle rash and neck wear. In some cases, I've seen that, you know, the paint is worn off, say on the Les Paul logo, or even the Gibson logo is kind of in tatters, I would say. And it basically looks like a guitar that has been used heavily and not cared for a lot. It's an instrument, a tool. So it's been used as such. And that is something that, you know, ironically, they're charging the most for the guitars in the worst condition. Heavier checking as well. So you're talking about guitars probably gone through the process maybe a couple of extra more times than the ultralight has. So that's what it is. Now, Gibson are saying that they've developed new techniques. Tom Murphy's saying he's developed new techniques to make sure that each of these guitars is an individual guitar, is as unique as each other, so they will not be uniformed, they won't look the same, everything will be different. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but as you can see from the pictures I'm showing you here now, the prices are quite high, and some criticism that Gibson quite often gets is that they make guitars for dentists and doctors to put up on the wall, and I can't see them escaping that with this run. And this is obviously all vintage reissues, so you were talking about lots and lots of guitars. So there's choice for all the doctors and dentists out there, but anyone as well who has a lot of money. Now, look, as I said, these are not for everybody. These are not beginners guitars, and they're not guitars probably for your average person. These are for people who have a lot of money to spend on things, who already have the pristine Les Paul and the pristine SG and everything that they want that way, and they're looking at buying a guitar that looks and feels old. And they do specifically say, Tom Murphy says specifically in the video that was released, that it's no good having a guitar that looks old if it doesn't feel old. So he's like, I want you to feel the same as if you're taking a guitar out of a case that is 50 years old as one that's brand new but has been made to age like that. So very interesting. And I know there's comments all the time come up like this, is like, well, you're wearing a distressed logo t-shirt, or you're how would you feel if your car was distressed when you bought it, you know? So there's two different sides of it there. I actually quite like how some of these look at the moment. I think they're pretty cool, and again, that is because my opinion was changed really on relic guitars by the comments in the video that I did about the Fender one. So you guys are really great. You always give me great opinions, and I really enjoy learning and having some good conversations with you. So with that in mind, I would like to know what you think of the Murphy Lab guitars that have been released by Gibson. Or are you happy with your Epiphones and your Squiers and your Fenders and your just standard Gibsons? Let me know. It's definitely worth having the conversation, I think. I think some of these are pretty cool, you know. Maybe if there was a lottery win at some point, I might pick one up. But again, I'm trying not to spend all of my money on guitars, so we'll see what happens there. And guys, thank you very much for joining me today. It has been an absolute pleasure. I'm excited. Look, Gibson are trying something new, so let's pat them on the back. They're trying something new by making something old. Ah well. So in terms of that, I'll leave your comments in the comment section below. If you have not subscribed yet, please do. Most people who watch videos on YouTube do not subscribe to the channel, but I think you'll enjoy it if you subscribe to this channel. Satisfaction kinda guaranteed. And if you could hit that like button, that'd be awesome too. Thanks very much. And I'll catch you on the next one, which will be out on Saturday. And until then, take care.